People will say all the time, oh, I dreamed my whole life of main eventing WrestleMania. I never did. Because to me, like, I'm never gonna main event WrestleMania. That's not gonna happen. Like that wasn't even a dream of mine. Like if you ever hear me in an interview say, my dream was always to main event WrestleMania, I'm full of I'm lying. I never thought that was possible. But it happened. Twice. Well, it was really surreal when we announced my signing. So I think they announced the signing in August, and I only had my debut in December. So that's 3 months of not doing anything and just kind of sitting around at the Performance Center. I was just so pumped to just get to do it. That match, it took everything we had to get to do this match. Because at the time there were people in charge of NXT who had very different opinions and wanted a nice, basic introduction, not too much, let's not go too far. And then eventually Triple H stepped in and said, no, let him be Kevin Owens, let him do him. And then being in the ring with CJ Parker was made it extra special because we got pretty tight pretty quick when I got to NXT. So to get to share that with him, my debut, and knowing that he would do everything he could to make it as good as he could for me, that was really great. And he did good by me. He broke my nose, which made it extra special. And then my nose broke his hand. So it was a very special bond we created that night.
Call a doctor. Kevin Owens again. Pop a powerbomb. And Kevin Owens.
Here's your winner, Kevin Owens.
I mean, just standing there with the blood, on my face and my nose basically plastered all over. Just, it's pretty perfect to show the mindset that would end up being, the root of my character, whatever you want to call it, for the last 10 years is to just keep fighting and just, fight through everything. It really set the tone perfectly. And I really have to thank CJ for that because his misplaced palm strike was just perfect, actually. I always wanted to be a WWE wrestler from the time I was 11 years old. But eventually, throughout my independent career, it's not like I stopped wanting to be that. I always wanted to be it, but I started realizing, maybe I could make a living without getting to WWE. At one point it just looked like it wasn't gonna happen for me. So it's not like I'd given up the idea, but I had kind of accepted that maybe it won't. And it's kind of okay. I think it will be okay. But then, as my son grew older and watched wrestling more and more, he became a huge John Cena fan. He asked me, when are you gonna wrestle John Cena? And I was like, oh, now I gotta go wrestle John Cena. So once I signed with WWE, my one big goal was to wrestle John Cena.
So the John Cena US Open Challenge starts now. You want some? Come get some!
And that was cool. There's the night of my debut on Raw when I come out to challenge John, my wife actually felt my son's reaction.
He's fighting John Cena? What? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. He's fighting John Cena.
And then I lay out Cena and he turns pretty quick on Cena.
And if you think that you have me all figured out, you're gonna realize
it's very nice. He's like, yeah, take that, John Cena. I'm like, yeah. And then we had the match a couple weeks later.
This matchup tonight came about thanks to Triple H of the Authority. Oh, after Owens arrived on the scene a couple of weeks ago, and there's a shoulder tackle by Cena. Welcome to the WWE, Mr. Owens.
It's interesting, this match too, because if you watch at what we're doing and you listen to the crowd during it, they're really obviously behind John 100%, but they don't really know who I am or, I've been on WWE television at that point on Raw maybe twice. Both times I attacked John. But it was really eye-opening for me just how little the WWE main roster audience, if you want to call it, how little they were aware of NXT, because it really truly felt like in that entire arena, maybe 10-15% of the crowd knew who I was. But obviously being in there with John Cena helps a lot. And then me being able to keep up with him in the match, and everything he brings to me, I bring back, I give back. It was pretty cool to just, as the match goes on, the crowd starts reacting more and more, but also they start realizing like, oh, this guy's worth watching, you know?
It's that clothesline.
Owens, pop-up powerbomb, cover on Cena, hook of the leg, Owens got him!
Yeah, you know, so the match was one thing, and then obviously beating John as clean as a whistle at the time was really almost unseen. You know, it was it wasn't something that would happen very often. And, you know, there's more to it too. I don't look like the typical WWE wrestler. I kind of stuck out like a sore thumb at that time. So for me to go toe-to-toe with the top guy and to beat him was really something that I think helped the audience that didn't know me realize like, oh, this guy's gonna be something for sure. Yeah, so this was a great time. Finn obviously had such a special career in Japan for a long time. I had only been, you know, in my independent career, I'd only been to Japan twice, so I hadn't spent a whole lot of time there, just a couple months here and there, you know. But Finn had made, before this, most of his career was spent in Japan. So to get to go back there and wrestle him, you know, in that setting in front of those fans, you know, it was cool because I knew it meant a lot to him to get to go back to Japan and do something like that in that building. And then, again, it was almost like kind of similar to my debut against Cena, where I was facing a guy everyone was super familiar with. Not that that audience in Japan wasn't familiar with me, but, you know, they had been watching Finn for a decade plus live, and I'd only been there a handful of times. So obviously, you know, it was pretty clear who they were rooting for, and that's the way it had to be. One of my favorite parts about this match actually was at the very beginning. I didn't know they were going to do this. I turn around and there's two women in the ring handing us flowers. One set of flowers to me, one set of flowers to Finn, and I'm like, what do you want me to do this? And just tossed it into the entrance, and it got a pretty good reaction. It was kind of cool. We weren't last. I remember that. We weren't last on the show, but we definitely should have been.
Oh no. Oh no. Kevin Owens cover, hook of the leg, tries to wrap the arm, and Balor at 2.
Yeah, but look at Kevin Owens right back on the attack.
Oh, that's it. Kevin Owens, hook of the leg on Balor, who stays in it.
And you know, it was on the network. It was like a network special. It wasn't like a pay-per-view or whatever we called them at the time. It was just a network special, and those were few and far between at the time. So it felt like you know, almost a little bit like we're making history, and obviously the title switch for it to happen there.
Can he somehow pull off his own miracle in Tokyo? Coup de grace! Is it enough? Cover, hook of the leg on Owens. He got him. Finn Balor's champion. Finn Balor is NXT champion.
And you know, getting to pass the torch or whatever you want to call it to Finn, who we came in at the same time. We had never met before we got here, but we grew close very quickly. Yeah, good times. It's the kind of stuff that when I look back, when my career's over, I'll have lived all these incredible moments, and professionally, I'll have a lot of cool stuff to look back on. But what's really gonna mean a lot, and what's really gonna be the things I look back on, is the times I got to share with special people like that. So it's a great thing to share with them. Well, so me and Sami known each other since 2002. And I really say this all the time. He's really more like a brother than a friend. So for me and Sami, we started wrestling. We were wrestling in Quebec on the independent scene, right? And when we started breaking out on the US scene, we were the two guys that the promotions in the US wanted. So we would drive together everywhere. We would fly together everywhere. It was just me and him, always. He really is like a brother. And then that extended, itself to the ring. The chemistry we have in there is, for me, it's unmatched. With him, you can be two great wrestlers. Sometimes there's no chemistry. I've had that with great wrestlers where we have no chemistry. This match sucked. I don't think Sami Zayn's ever had that with anyone because he is the best. We've probably wrestled each other one-on-one at least 200 times, if not more, throughout the last 25 years. That one is probably the most special one.
Oh, wow! Oh my gosh! Owens up, Owens down! Is this enough for Sami Zayn to put Owens away? Kevin Owens at toe!
The crowd just went insane after that kick out, and that's when you can't describe that feeling of having an entire arena just losing their mind. Also, this is a great example right there, is nothing's happening. Like, he hits me with the boot and I fall back into him, and he just catches me and nothing's happening, but they're going crazy because they're like along for the ride. They're feeling what he's feeling, and they just understand what's happening. And then he puts me back to going and hits another one, and you can tell when he gets the 3 count, they're jumping up and down. It was just like his character's struggle with me, and the times I've betrayed him, all I put him through. Finally, it was his turn to say, I got you, You work years to kind of get that feeling. Like, I remember walking back after that one, and then when I went through the curtain, I screamed my head off, like, yeah, in front of everyone, and I'd never do that. I'd always try to keep my emotions in check until I'm alone, but I couldn't even. I was so pumped. It was so special. The reaction, the crowd. I just knew what we did for these people was something they'd remember for a long time. It might not even been our best one in terms of execution, but emotionally, as far as how it felt, that's the best Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn match you can get. Well, this 4-way just came about so just out of nowhere. So I went from the match with Sami at Battleground to right into this weird team with Chris Jericho. That came out of nowhere to wrestle Enzo and Cass at SummerSlam. The next night, Finn had to surrender the title, and a week later, here we are, and I'm winning this title. We knew this match was happening a week before it happened, right? So it was set up on the Raw previously. We all qualified for the 4-way. And again, I don't know how many times I've used this term already, but a special thing about it is I got to be in the ring with 2 guys I was very close with, like Big Cass and Seth. And Roman, who I wasn't so close with, but I really respected a lot. And, again, when you're in the ring with people that you respect, and you get to share these cool moments, it always adds, another level to enjoying these things as much as I have over my career.
Kevin Owens. Frog splash! Cover! Big Cass is eliminated. A rejuvenated, revitalized KO with a cannonball. And another one. Superman punch caught him on the ear.
Owens is out.
Reigns to eliminate Owens. KO kicks out. Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. No. What's going on? A pedigree to Rollins. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Kevin Owens the cover. Kevin Owens is the Universal Champion. Kevin Owens is champion.
Here is your winner and the new WWE Universal Champion, Kevin Owens.
What did we just witness?
But then obviously winning the title, it's, a crowning achievement, something like winning a WWE championship, something I always pictured, as I drive up and down the road on the independent scene. This is when my mind would start to kind of travel and wonder, would always end up with me winning the title, right? This title, not the Universal title per se, but the WWE Championship or whatever. And it was, it was, I don't know, it lived up to everything I had made it up to be in my head, And another layer to it was Triple H is the reason I got to WWE. He's the one who took a chance on me. And he literally handed me the title that night as part of the story, and also literally. He helped me win it in character, and then he gave me that title, presented it to me in the ring. So again, sharing that with the guy who gave me that chance, it just makes for such a, what's that word I'm looking for? Oh, special moment. And that night was cool. I really made sure to soak it all up, because that's something that's easy to forget when you're out there, is take the time to savor and appreciate the moments you're living. So that night I remember reminding myself, like, okay, just please take the time to enjoy this. And I did. It was really cool. And, I came back, my family couldn't be there, but, they were watching at home. So I FaceTime with my parents, my wife and my kids. I FaceTime with Finn, because it was really important for me to talk to him right away, because it was to me, it was his title. He got hurt, had to give it up. As far as what I wish I could have changed or appreciated more, is basically every single night after that. Because from that point on, all I could think about was, how can I make this title reign as good as possible? And then I would just obsess over every little thing, like, what are we doing? What's next week? What's in a month? Who am I wrestling? How are we doing this? Why are we doing it? And I just got so into my own head. I really didn't appreciate it as much as I could have, as much as I should have. And that's a real regret. And I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever get that opportunity again, but I'll always have that night and that moment. All this came out of one time we teamed on a random SmackDown. And at the end of the match, Chris is on the ramp celebrating, and I just, for some reason, decided I was going to run up and just jump into his arms. He had no idea what was going to happen. And I was way bigger back then than I am now. Like, I was probably pushing 275 at that time. I'm just running towards Chris, and you can see him, and he knows what's happening. And he braces, and I just jump, but like a spider monkey on him. Like, my legs are wrapped around his waist, and he caught me. And then, like, we just kind of, and then he put me back down, and we just kept talking trash. And when we got to the back, people in charge were so into it, just laughing their heads off at our chemistry. And that was it. From then on, it got into somebody's head that, hey, Jericho and Owens together is money. It's very entertaining. It's good. Let's keep that in the back of our minds. And then eventually, not that long after that, especially that random tag match on SmackDown, is when the SummerSlam tag team match with Enzo and Cass came about. And then it looked like it was going to be a one-off. But then I won the title, and the next thing was like, well, you know what? Let's keep Chris with him, and let's see where this goes. And then it ultimately all led up to this. But this is still something that people talk about to this day. We put a lot of work into it. We put our minds to it. We thought about this specific segment for a long time. Chris was the one that wanted to make it like this Vegas, spectacle. That was his idea. And we had, people in the back helping us. And it was a real collective effort to try to make this as memorable as possible. And it really worked, because a lot of people still to this day talk about it as being one of the most memorable moments of the last 10, 15 years. What that made them feel and how they reacted to it is something, people still talk about. And they even made like an action figure set of this exact moment with the Festival of Friendship, accessories and everything. Probably one of the most talked about things I've ever done in WWE. but everything leading up to it was great. Those stupid statues, like it was a great time. It was great TV for sure.
The creation of Kevin. Wow.
Oh my God. This is too much.
Yeah, that was really cool. It's backwards though, because it's not, it should have been the creation of Chris, I think, the way the painting is. Chris was the one who wanted the showgirls, all this stuff. I was the one who came up with the idea for the list of KO and the reveal.
How come my name's on this?
And even the people in the truck, in the production truck, like the way they shot it, it was just it was real team effort to make a really good moment, good TV. Shane McMahon is an intense individual in everything he does at all times. Great guy. I really enjoyed working with him a lot. He'll do anything. He's willing to do anything. He'll try anything. He's psycho. It's great because I can meet that energy, But anyway, we ended up fighting on the top of the cell. And, we didn't go up there before. I'd never been up there. And then I remember laying there thinking, man, this would suck if it just breaks. We're dead. And you get up there and you realize, oh, I'm at eye level with the people that are in the 17th row up here. This is kind of bad. It's just so funny to look back on because it was so, I've done a lot of things in WWE that most guys haven't done. Hell in a Cell with Shane is one of them. I have all these weird moments that are just so strange that they even ever became possible and then actually happened. But one part of this specific match, so pop a powerbomb eventually. So the fun part is, eventually we have to get down from this thing. He's punching me right in the right there. These are the worst things that ever happened in my career. Okay, those little punches, the 4 punches he just threw right at my kidneys. I was begging him to stop. This was all it was supposed to be. I expected a couple of head smashes in the fence, I'll fall off the table. No, he just starts pounding away. I thought he was gonna break my ribs. And I swear, you could see me look at him. I just turned to him and goes, please stop. One of the most, of all the things I've done in my career, some of the most painful things, those 4 little rabbit punches right in the ribs. After that, falling through the table is a breeze.
Oh my God!
And then this insane moment where Sami has to pull me off before this giant man comes down from 40 feet high or whatever it is.
Shane! Oh, damn it!
Shane, oh my God!
What the hell? Where the hell did Kevin Owens go? Hold up.
We were so scared that I wouldn't get off the table in time and we'd all 3 of us just die. But it worked out, thankfully. You take chances in life. This was the one we took and it worked. In case you hadn't noticed, working with Shane McMahon, it's a blast, but it's intense. And it's an experience. It's very chaotic and fun, but also scary. Just a whole gamut of emotions. In 2005, me and Sami were doing pretty good as far as working the independent scene and getting our name out there. We were on our way to California for a PWG show, which PWG was played a huge part in our careers. And we're on this layover and I'm just walking to the gate. And as I get to the gate, I see Stone Cold. And he's kind of off on the side trying to be kind of, discreet. But I'm like, I gotta go talk to him. This is my absolute idol in wrestling. Shawn Michaels is the reason I ever wanted to become a wrestler. But once the Ringmaster came to WWE, I was all about the ringmaster / Stone Cold from that point on. Yeah. So I turn around and I have to go get Sami, and I don't know what he was doing. He was just maybe sitting somewhere. And I go, dude, we got to go talk to Stone Cold. And he's like, what? I'm like, come on, we got to go talk to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he doesn't understand what I'm saying. For some reason, he thinks we're going to fight somebody. Like, I need backup in a fight. So as we're walking there, he goes, well, who are we fighting? And I go, what? We're going to go talk to Stone Cold. Like, what? And then I point to him, and he goes, that's not Stone. Oh, it is. So we walked up to him, introduced ourselves as independent professional wrestlers, and he was so cool. We ended up talking for about 10 minutes. He's asked us about our career and stuff like that. And then they called first class, and Mr. Fancy Pants was in first class, obviously. So as he was about to walk away, I go, hey, dude, I got to ask you one piece of advice, anything. And he goes, yeah, just never stop running your mouth. And then he looked at Sami and goes, that plancha will kill you. So just never stop running your mouth. I was already pretty good at it, but from that point on, man, I would talk so much in my matches nonstop that it became a staple of my act on the independent scene. And then all those years later, around 2012, 2013 or so, Steve had a podcast that I would listen to. And then at the end of the podcast, and this was still me just on the independent scene, doing pretty good again, probably the top independent wrestler at the time. But still, you know, being a top independent wrestler, and I'm making okay money, but I want to get to WWE, so I need to get my name out there as much as possible. Stone Cold's doing the podcast, and at the end of his podcast, he'd always say, if you have any questions, send them in to questions at, Stone Cold BSR, whatever. So I'm like, oh, it's worth a shot. So I sent him an email reminding him of what happened in 2005 at the airport. And he remembered. He remembered me. And sure enough, exactly what I hoped would happen happened, and he invited me to be a guest on his podcast. And at the time, it was crazy. The amount of attention that got me being on Stone Cold's podcast was wild. And at the end of his podcast with me, talked about an hour and a half. And at the end of his podcast, he goes, Kevin Steen, Ring of Honor champion, this and that. I think WWE should give this kid a shot. And sure enough, I got a tryout not long after that. And less than a year later, I was signed to a WWE contract. And the next time I saw Stone Cold, it was backstage at WWE events. And, we kind of talk about, like, hey, look how all that stuff, look at how it all worked out. Pretty amazing. And then, a few years later, I'm like, I think I need a new finishing move. Everybody's kind of doing power bombs now. So I went and asked Stone Cold, can I use the Stone Cold Stunner? And he's like, yeah, you can. He's like, I'm surprised nobody's asked me before. Go ahead. And in the back of my head, I must confess that when I first asked Stone Cold about it, sure, I'd love to get to use the Stone Cold Stunner. Imagine there's the best finishing move of all time. But I also figured, on the off chance, the very slim chance that he comes back for one more match, obviously, you'd think he'd wrestle the guy who's doing the Stunner. And that's exactly what happened. It worked. It worked. Amazing. That was a long game. I played the long game on that one. People will say I was the biggest fan of this guy or that girl or whatever all the time. I was the biggest Stone Cold Steve Austin fan in the world. I will fight anyone who wants to try to challenge me for that title. I was the biggest Stone Cold fan. When he came back in 2003 in Montreal, the Bell Center, I almost passed out from screaming my head off. And then I met him in 2005. Got advice from him that shaped my career. Then I got to be on his podcast in 2012, 2013 or whatever. Helped me get more eyes on me. Then got to ask him if I could use his finisher, got his approval to do it, and then wrestled him at WrestleMania. That story is insane. And I can't believe it happened to me. I can't even believe it's real as I'm telling you it. But it happened. It all happened. It's right there on the tape.
There we go. Thank you. Well, first of all, welcome to the KO show. Thank you for accepting my invitation. I really appreciate it.
For a good year after, I would probably go back and watch, not the whole match, but the moment with the bell rings. I'd have to go back and watch it, and I could watch it, no joke, 100 times in a row.
You're about to see Stone Cold Steve Austin against Kevin Owens.
19 years in the making.
There's the bell. Here we go.
people didn't know we were gonna get to see a match when he came out. They just like, Stone Cold's back. This night was made about him. You know what I mean?
The table set up against the barricade. Oh no! Beautiful reversal!
And the game plan backfires on Kevin Owens. Austin trying to hoist up Owens. Owens trying to block it.
Oh my God! That is it! That is it! Austin's not getting up.
Oh my gosh.
No holds barred, gentlemen! Oh my God!
Where's Austin taking Owens?
It's exactly what Kevin Owens asked for, and he's getting it.
And the crowd now on the WrestleMania stage.
Steve Austin took the express route to no man's land. Look out!
Austin looking to return the favor from
Suplex on the stage!
Oh.
It's funny because he would tell me that all the time after, where he's like, I wish they had given me a bit more time to get ready. Because if they had, we could have had a 25-minute classic. In my head, I'm like, we had a classic, dude, you know? But he means like, no, like 20 minutes, just hard in the ring, you know, just me and you, no need to go in the crowd or any of that stuff, like just like bell to bell, just good, like classic wrestling match. I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome, but man, they just wanted Stone Cold beating my ass, and that's what we gave them, you know?
The steel chair has Austin's name on it. Took one to his own face!
Owens stumbling!
Stunner! Cover by Stone Cold. 1, 2, 3! The Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin!
Man, it was so, people were just so happy. That's the thing I take back from it. Everybody's just so happy to see it, so happy for him, and he was happy. And you know, the cool part too is he gets to share that moment with his brother at the end. That was pretty neat to see. Like, I was back in Gorilla by that point, but I'm looking at the screen and he had mentioned his brother to me a few times as we were leading up to this match, and then I look and I see him and his brother in the ring sharing a beer. That's pretty cool. It's funny because WrestleMania, there's been a lot of cool WrestleMania moments for me and Sami. Our first WrestleMania was in the ladder match where we're in the match together. And there's a moment at the beginning of that match at WrestleMania 32 where we both grab a ladder and look up and we see the other guys in the end and we drop it and just start fighting. Crowd goes crazy. Getting to share that with them after all the years we had put in trying to get here together, pretty crazy. Probably won't get any crazier than that. Actually, 2 years later, we get to team together against Shane McMahon, complete psychopath, and Daniel Bryan, someone who at that point we had, you know, looked up to for a long time, from our independent careers to WWE. That's about as good as it gets. Except then WrestleMania 37 comes, and now it's me and Sami one-on-one at WrestleMania. Again, never thought we'd get to do that. Because singles matches at WrestleMania are hard to come by in the first place, but the fact that we got to have one together, surreal. Probably won't get any better than that. And then 2 years later, we get to face the Usos, probably the best team in WWE history. We get to wrestle them in the main event of night one, which tag team matches have not main evented WrestleMania very often.
Sami!
Ripping Jimmy to the outside.
Jimmy sent over the Spanish announce table. Kevin Owens down.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness! Owens connecting!
We both got to WWE right around 2014, and by 2021, 2022, we had teamed, but we hadn't won the titles, and then we had gotten separated, so we were like, I guess it's not gonna happen. But then this story happened with the bloodline and everything, the way it unfolded, it just made too much sense for me not to be involved.
Or the tag!
Come on, KO! Tag! Sami's legal!
led us all to this moment right here, where it was, I was adamant that Sami needed to be the one to end it because of his story, everything that had happened with him and Jay and the bloodline. And I don't think we could have told a better story and found a better way to do it. And we definitely, again, I've talked about Sami being the best in the world, but if you're talking about tag team wrestling, man, the Usos are just the best. Just, you know, there's just something about how they do tag team wrestling and how they view tag team wrestling and how they think about tag team wrestling that's unmatched. And yeah.
Three's the one. Cover. The bloodline being damned. Here are your winners and the new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Well, that moment right there, I got way more emotional than I thought I would. The guy who recruited us back in the day, he told Sami something that rings true to this day. This is what's good for Sami Zayn is good for Kevin Owens, and what's good for Kevin Owens is good for Sami Zayn. And man, that's so true. That's how strongly our careers are linked to each other. And winning the tag titles at WrestleMania together really does not get any better than that. And then, as I say this, in 2 years, we'll wrestle each other for the world title in the main event of WrestleMania, and I better win. So one match that is very special to me and that I really loved a lot and I will look back on fondly when my career's done that almost nobody knows existed, happened this year. And it was me and Becky Lynch against Grayson Waller and Nia Jax at a random live event in front of probably 3, 4, 5, 6,000 people. It was like a small town one. The reason it's so much, it means so much to me is because I met Becky in 2006 on a tour of Europe, of Italy specifically. And the tour was a disaster. It was me, Sami, Becky, and a bunch of other people. The promoter, booked these giant, huge arenas. And we drew maybe 60 to 70 people every night in 5,000 seat arenas because he didn't promote the shows. And it was just mostly pretty unknown independent wrestlers going, 3 different towns in Italy, 3 different cities in Italy. But the promoter had done a terrible job of promoting the shows. So it was a disaster. But, we had a great time. We were in Italy. We got to perform in front of the fans that were there. And yeah, it was awkward having so little people in such a huge building. But the people that were there to have fun. So we gave them the best show possible. And, to this day, we talk about that tour as literally a life-changing moment in all of our lives. When we all met each other and, she's just such a great friend. Me, her, and Sami, we have like this bond from that tour, right? And we always wanted to work together. Me and Becky always wanted to do some sort of mixed tag team match, just for fun, because we actually had a match together on that tour in Italy. It was against each other. It was me against Becky and someone else. So every few months on live events, we try to bother the people that were in charge to change the cards so that me and Becky could team. And it never happened. It would never happen. They would always say no. No, we can't because of this, because of that, because of this, because of that. And then one day, they finally said yes. so excited just to get to share the ring together in WWE, because we got to do it in 2006 in front of like 70 people in a building that was half empty, and now we got to do it in a sold-out building in WWE, and it was just so much fun. We just had a blast. The crowd loved it. The crowd made it so much fun. Waller and Nia were the perfect foils for our team. Very fond memories from that one, and something, just again, another great experience with a dear friend that I'll look back on fondly. So, yeah. You know, it's just really hard to put into words the kind of, like if I look back at those moments, it really doesn't feel like any of it's real, because it was all so unlikely. Stone Cold wasn't around for 19 years. And when he came back, it was to work with me in the main event of WrestleMania. And then me and Sami, tag team matches don't main event WrestleMania, but this one did. And we won the tag titles. And me and Sami would talk about, hey, our goals, our dreams, whatever. This wasn't even one of them. Not once did we say, hey, imagine we main event WrestleMania and win the tag titles. Not once, because that wasn't a possibility. I never even, like, people will say all the time, oh, I dreamed my whole life of main eventing WrestleMania. I never did. I just wanted to be on WrestleMania. Because to me, like, I'm never going to main event WrestleMania. That's not going to happen. Like, two guys get to do that once a year. But now, obviously, it's a bit different, but, like, that wasn't even a dream of mine. Like, if you ever hear me in an interview say, my dream was always to main event WrestleMania, I'm full of I'm lying. I never thought that was possible. But it happened. Twice. The one thing I'll say is whatever happens in your life, if you have a good day, if you have a good moment, if you're doing something that you think, hey, this is pretty cool, try to take the time to enjoy it and remember it. Because so many of those moments, I got better at enjoying, but for a while, I wasn't good at it. And I really wish I could go back in time to re-immerse myself in those moments. But to sum up, the last 10 years have been insane. And I'm extremely lucky to have gotten to live through all those moments. I'm extremely lucky to have gotten the chance to work with so many incredible people. And I'm just really grateful for all of it.